welcome to Soul Symbols. My name is Shelly. I'm a writer, an astrologer, and a card reader, and I'd like to welcome you to my channel. I'm going to take my glasses. There we go. Glasses girl. Hi. Sorry. And I'd like to welcome you to my channel. Happy Saturday. It is the weekly energy card reading, and what that is every week you, the viewer, get to choose from one of three tarot or oracle decks, and then we'll go ahead and do a brief spread to see how the what the energies would be like for the next 7 days. I like to always say that I treat card reading like dream interpretation. It's like telling a story. We're looking at the symbols and seeing what they mean. But we do have a saying in card reading. We say, take what resonates and leave the rest. So if you feel like the interpretation of your week is not resonating, if you feel like maybe just a few pieces of information might be ringing true, just take what speaks to you, and everything else just leave by the wayside. So that is completely fine. Now, I wanted to do something kind of special. It does not need to be the week. I'm about to cough, excuse me. Oh wow, guys, I'm not doing a good intro here, sorry. It's been a long week, but it does not need to be the week of December 5th through December 12th in order for the messages to resonate. If you come across this video at any time, please feel free to check it out, because there may be little nuggets of information contained. But December 3rd in particular is National Dice Day. And I want to thank everyone for checking out my channel. I have been posting videos that talk about my deck collection. And what you see here is 5 little bags that I've made. And inside are all of my dice. So as part of my collection, as part of my oracle, I do have a collection of dice. And since Thursday, December 3rd was National Dice Day, and I didn't think about this until after the fact. I probably should have done this on last week's weekly energy card reading, but we're going to go ahead and include it in this week because it's a few days past. But December 3rd is National Dice Day, and actually, last year I posted a video that was a reading that was comprised of nothing but dice. And it's really a wonderful self-help tool. It doesn't even have to be used for divination. I found that dice is really, really wonderful for all sorts of readings. And of course, it's very compact. And it's one of those things where if you decide that you do not want to use decks, dice is a good alternative. Actually, I'm just going to quickly go through some of this, because what I'm going to do is, to clarify our read today, I'm going to take one die from each of these two these two sets. And I just wanted to show you the other 3 decks other 3 sets. I'm sorry, I'm so used to using cards. I keep saying decks. But I'm going to show you the other 3 sets of dice that I have, because I do have a total of 5. I will do a separate video at some point. It's probably going to be a little bit further down the line. I honestly kind of dropped the ball, it being the beginning of December, and it being, if you're watching this at the time the video posts, 2020 has been a very busy year, and honestly, I've been a little distracted. It's been busy in a good way, but there's just several projects that I've been trying to get back to, and I appreciate your patience. But the next Oracle deck review that I'll be doing will be on Lenormand-based decks, and there's only 5 decks of those cards that I have, so it'll be a very short video. But eventually I will circle back. It'll probably be towards the end of the video series for all of my decks and dice and cards. But I will do a video separate that's dedicated to this, where we can actually go through and you can get a better look at the dice. But since it's National Dice Day, I wanted to go ahead and incorporate that. I always use clarifiers with my weekly energy card reads. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these two sets of dice to clarify our read today. But I'm going to go ahead and show you all 5 real quick, just so you get an idea, since it is this is posting on the National Dice Day. All of the bags that you see here I've made. I like to sew. And what it is the first set of dice that I have is, this is a set of dice that I purchased off Etsy, and what it is it's D&D die, and it's in Chakra colors, And last year, I don't do the readings anymore. I might do another one sometime soon, but not every month. I hosted what I call a D&D reading, and I did that every month. And what it was is I'd post it on the 20th of each month, so it was D20, day 20. And I really love these die because they have all of the shapes. You know, they have the dodecahedron. They have all of the, I know all the names. I'm sorry, guys, but they have all of the dice that you would use for D&D, including a D20. And I just feel like the numerology really speaks to me. And then when I would use it in the reads, I would look at the chakra colors, and I would also take into consideration what the die was used for in a D&D game. Now, oh crap! Oh. I'm sorry, I rolled a 10%. That was the percentile die. I died a 10. But I still do use these dies. I don't use them as much since I've discontinued doing those readings. I will do another one of those readings soon. But I do like to use them for myself. I think they're very helpful. I do also kind of get an energy from the different colors. If you feel like you want to kind of get, if you're into numerology. Also, you could just buy a set of D&D dice that's in a solid color. It doesn't even have to be like chakra or rainbow. And there's so many beautiful sets of those dice out. So maybe you are a D&D fan, or maybe you like playing that game. So that's kind of just a natural transition. And again, we talk a lot about how these cards are used for self-help and meditation. So it's kind of a natural transition. If you already have a set of those dice at home, that's a very easy way to kind of, you could just throw dice for yourself and kind of interpret the numbers. There's a lot of really great readers here on YouTube that throw number dice, and what it is it's an angel number. So like if it's 5610, or so you could throw one or two of the dice, or you could just go in the bag and pick whatever two you grab and roll. You can kind of use that as your angel number for the day, and you can just go to Google, put in the number. That's a very, very easy way to kind of enjoy your dice. Now, the second set of dice, I'm stupid proud of this bag. I actually had some leftover star material. I have little constellations. So cute. Sorry, focus please. There we go. And I never like wasting ribbon. Anytime ribbon comes on something, like it could be a box of chocolates, it can be on something. So I made the lining of it all gold, so it's really cool. But these are my astrology dice. And my astrology dice, there's 3 die, and what it is one has the signs. So like you see here, you have all of the signs, like Scorpio, Aries through Pisces. Then you have all of the planets, or I'm sorry, these are all the planets, and it includes a north node and a south node, which I think is really cool. So you have the sign for Jupiter, you have the sign for Venus, you have the sign for the Sun, Mars, and then the last die is a traditional number die. It's very similar to the D&D set, but what this is this rules the houses. So what I do is it's really, really nice. Sometimes when I'm, and again, dies are so nice because they're such a quick way. And again, I'm going to post the link for the video that I did last year. I did do an entire reading that was nothing but dice, and it turned out so great. You can read dice the same way that you read cards. It's really, really versatile. And the thing I love about it is it's so quick. You don't even have to shuffle or anything. So like if we go ahead and roll, we've got the 4th house upside down, we got Mars, and we got Aquarius. And you know what that tells me? That tells me that you want to be independent. You don't want to be held down. Maybe you're tired of being at home. If you're in North America, maybe you're sick of social distancing. Either that, or maybe you make your home really independent. The other thing is that you have a lot of drive and passion for what you do. So also that could be a sign that, hey, home is anywhere, right? And that's a deck again. I'm sorry, guys. That's a set of dice that you can really take anywhere. Again, it fits in your purse, and you can roll it anywhere. Now, the last set is really interesting. This also is a little bit D&D related. I didn't realize that when I bought them. But what it is these are life die. And what it is it's a regular set of dice. There's 6 cubes, 6 die, and they all have hearts on them. And what I love is it's those little pixel hearts. It almost looks like something like out of a video game. I think of Legend of Zelda, because I'm a Zelda girl. But I do love it. I've used this for love readings. And the way that I kind of read it is I read it like the 3 of Cups or the Ace of Cups or the 6 of Cups, because hearts, when you read regular playing cards, hearts are cups. But you could use this, again, if you like tabletop games, if you like fantasy role-playing games, if you use this for some other purpose. The other thing is that I don't even think it has to be just D&D. I think there's other games that you can kind of, if you have to roll 1 die or more die to see what kind of life that you would have. Either that or you can use it in conjunction. But there's definitely been relationship reads that I've on this channel that I've done, that I've utilized these die. And again, I make all the bags, and this is like a faux red suede bag. Now, so those are the 3 die that you won't be seeing those in the read today, but those are the other die that I have. And real quick, and we'll get on to the read. If you ever want to jump straight to your reading, the timestamps are in the description box. I'm sorry, I always forget to say that right off the cuff. But the next deck, I think I'm just gonna say that the whole video, guys. You're gonna have to forgive me. I'm sorry. You know what I do. You know how I do, how I roll, literally, figuratively. But this is a really wonderful dice set. What it is this is actually a game, and what it is it's a vocabulary game. And what it is you've got a bunch of wooden dice, and there's quite a lot of them. I think there's like 36 of the blue ones. And what it is all of the dice are blue, and they have like keywords on them, like kindness, film, theory, change, elder, inherit, freedom, soul, new, death, money. And I just feel like, superpower, fancy, long ago, passion, and pep talk. There's so many really wonderful keywords, and this is conversation dice. And what it is that there's one pink die that says change the subject, form an opinion, make an observation, explore a tangent. And what this is this is really a game. This is a conversation game. It's also a game that's meant to be good for someone who's learning the English language, like a way that you can kind of, in a real like a live context, you can use words and or respond to the request. And ooh, we have a dice. Oh, that's so funny. News. we rolled news. That rolled across the floor. That's so funny. But we are going to use this dice to clarify your read. But this is by, oh gosh, the publisher is in, all the names of the decks and the authors are in the description box. But that's Conversation Dice, and that is in the description box. But we're going to be throwing one of those dice to clarify your read. And then last but not least, and I saved the best for last, we've got Rory's Story Cubes, and it's R-O-R-Y, and again, the description is in the description box. I'm stupid proud of my bag because I made it real flat-bottomed, so I can shake up my dice while it's in the bag, or I can put my hand in there and totally, shuffle it. But what it is that it is also a storytelling game. So this can be used if you decide to purchase this. You don't have to use it. It's very dual purpose. You can use this to play with your family, with your kids, and then you can also use it for your own card throwing kind of. And what it is the original set is blue, and what it has is little images that you can interpret. Like here, you got someone who's pushing a doorbell. You have someone who's dancing. You got someone who's digging a hole. Someone who's yelling. And so there's different add-ons that you can get. Like, oh, here we go. I'm sorry, I got it backwards. The original game is kind of burgundy, and it kind of has like a happy, it has a, a frowny face, a question mark. It has a magnifying glass. It has a shadow. I think that's so great. I always think of shadow self. And there's a scarab. And which is really an interpretation of like a death or transformation card. But what it is that you can add to this, like all of the pink dice are the fantasy deck, and then all of the purple ones are the what they call the clues set, so that's more mystery. And then they have other ones. They have like prehistoric. There's so many that you can do. So there's additional sets that you can buy to add to your dice. I went with the dice that I liked, you know, so I think I have medic and I have fantasy and I have clues because I like mystery. But, you know, but I went ahead and added that. So that's my set of dice. And we are also going to be pulling those to do your reading today. But all of the names, including all of the sets that I have, are in the description box. And I'm gonna go ahead. I have a gorgeous little. I like to repurpose things. So this was actually a candy box. It's very clean, but it was a Godiva candy box. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my other dice in there so I can get to them later. So we're gonna say bye to those now. We're gonna put those at the side. And we're going to finally get into your read. So thank you so much. But that was my introduction to dice. Maybe since we did that introduction, we don't have to do the walkthrough anymore. But December 3rd was National Dice Day. So I know this video is posting a few days after that, but I hope you do get a chance to play with dice, enjoy dice, and please check out the hyperlink that I'm going to put below. I did an entire reading that was nothing but dice. So just like playing cards, you can read anything. It doesn't need to be a formal tarot deck for you to enjoy it. So, all right, so happy National Dice Day, and let's go ahead and let's get into your reading. We have 3 decks here, and we have the Anna K with the Smoky Quartz. We have the Starseeker Tarot with the Amethyst Point, and this is the first stone that I've ever bought. It's quite vintage now. And then the last deck, we're going to go with the Sun and Moon Tarot by, I think it's Vanessa Decort. And with it, we have an obsidian stone. And we're going to be clarifying with Rory's story cubes and the conversation dice. So I'm going to go ahead and do a freeze frame. If you need more time, please pause the video, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, we're back. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to move these other cards up. Let's go ahead. We'll just put the stone on top. Why not? And so deck number 1, what's your energy for the week? Oh gosh, guys. Middle of the week? End of the week. Clarify. Thank you. And let's go ahead, and as promised, we're gonna clarify. We're gonna get one of the Rory story cube. I'm sorry, this gets a little loud. Gets a little loud. I should caution you. Okay. Oh, that's so cool, guys. I really think of the sky there. And let's go ahead and get your conversation dice. Okay, and I do take the orientation in which the dice falls into consideration. So if it looks like it's upside down, it's almost like reading it like a card in reverse. So wow, guys, beginning of the week is quite interesting. You got the Moon and you got the Hanged Man, and these are 2 major arcanas. So you're going to be in some pretty heavy energy. You're going to be in some pretty strong energy. Now, first off, in the Anna K has one of the prettiest moon cards I've ever seen. All of the decks that I have really gorgeous moon cards, but this one is particularly great. And it just, you know, you see the moon sparkling off the water, and honestly, it might be, yeah, well, you know what, guys, this might be the phase of the moon from the 5th of December to the 12th because we just had a full moon in Gemini. Also, one good thing to think about is whenever you have a new moon or a full moon, if you are familiar with astrology, or if you have gone to one of those websites where you've done your, you have your astrological chart, go ahead and see where Gemini falls in your chart. Like, for instance, in my chart, Gemini falls on the 8th house. So that's about transformation. That's about the needs that you have, the stability, like the real cornerstones of what you live, on how you live, and it's hidden emotion. But here, I'm kind of seeing like a first quarter moon. And what that is it wouldn't be Gemini, it would be Virgo. So you could also look at what house Virgo is on. Like for me, Virgo's on the 11th house. But go ahead and look at that, because that'll kind of, they always say in astrology, the sign is like the actor. The planet is like the actor. The sign is like the role, like the role that you're portraying. And the house is like the stage. It's the setting. It's the area of your life in which you are you're expressing this energy. And I feel like at the beginning of the week, look closely at what Virgo, if you have your own chart, look closely at the house that Virgo is in, and look closely at whether or not you have any other planets that either touch Virgo or have some kind of contact with that sign within your own chart. Because it's going to be some kind of powerful energy for you, especially at the beginning of the week. The other thing is that I do just kind of get the sense that I'm getting a sense of inactivity. The other thing that I kind of get is that I get the sense that maybe there's something on your mind, and I'm honestly getting kind of a feeling like this might be kind of romantic. I think you might have somebody or some kind of situation on your mind. Oh, come on, say it, guys. With this much astrological, because there's a star here, there's starry skies in two of these cards. I'm getting a sense that you stand outside and you look at the moon. You look at the moon. And I've said this before, but this is what I think of, and maybe it's because I'm a child of the 90s. I'm a teen of the 90s. Have you ever seen the movie American Tail? The little mouse, his name is Feifel, and he goes out and he sings to the moon, somewhere out there, And what it is that you're looking at a moon. You're looking at a moon and you're hoping that the person that you're thinking about is looking at it too. I don't know where that's coming from, but I'm feeling that really strongly. And I've also done that too, sometimes, and it's really silly. Sometimes when I'm taking out the recycling, or I'm taking out the trash, I'm putting it out on the curb, and sometimes it can be really cold as all get out. Like I can see my own breath, but and I'm stupid. I go out there without a coat. I'm always like, oh, it'll just take 3 minutes for me to put the recycling out on the curb. And then I stand out there for 5 minutes. I'm like, oh, I'm going to catch a cold. Like anybody needs that. But you either that, or in the beginning of the week, I really do think that you'll have a moment where you stand outside and you look at the sky. The other thing is the sun. If you're in North America, the sun is setting so early, daylight savings, the sun sets at 5 o'clock, and it really feels like the days are so short. But I am getting a strong sense. I'm getting a strong sense of reflection. The other thing that I kind of get is this card, I take the artwork into consideration, and these two are major arcanas, and it doesn't mean that anything crazy or, I always say it's not like an asteroid's going to fall out of the sky and hit you on the head in the beginning of the week. Nobody needs that on a Monday. But it, what it kind of tells me is this energy does kind of start around the 5th and the 6th, which is Sunday, Saturday. So I'm almost getting kind of a Sunday night blues. But I'm thinking it's almost like you're thinking about the actions that you want to take this week. Like on over Sunday, you're sitting outside. You might be sitting outside and watching the moon. But the other thing that I kind of get is we take into consideration the artwork. And a lot of hangmans, the hangman is about inaction because you're seeing something from a higher perspective. It's almost like you're in a state of divine discontent, which means even though you're in an uncomfortable position, you can appreciate why you're there. I always see this card as being like maybe you have to move and your new place isn't available, so now you're in this intermediary living situation. And one way to look at it is to be all grumpy and be like, why am I here? I want to hurry up and get into my new house. Da 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 da. But then when you actually appreciate, because when you think about it, how often do you get a new experience in life? Right? How often, yes, you're displaced. Yes, everything's in boxes, but how often do you get to see a new kitchen? How often, the other thing is that I think as humans, and I think especially with this year being so challenging, sometimes we overlook the little appreciations, and it is an act of gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful thing, guys. It is if you've ever read Rhonda Byrd's The Secret, it is manifestation at its highest. And that's like a hanged man energy. It's like saying, okay, yes, I'm not where I wanted to be, but the other thing about the hanged man is it's surrender. Right? It's surrender. It's saying, okay, I'm going to stop controlling the situation. I thought I was going to be in this new house, and here I am in this intermediary living situation. Why not appreciate the way where you are right now? Stop and look around at where you are right now. Maybe you are in an intermediary living situation, but when you think about it, wow, look at the way the light comes in through that window. I'm not going to have that window in the next 6 months. I'm going to have a different window in 6 months. Appreciate it now. Appreciate it now. And I think that's what you're kind of doing at the beginning of the week. Now, one thing about this artwork is that this is a particularly grumpy hanged man. Most hanged men look a little bit, content. This one doesn't look. So I am, and the fact that there's kind of gray clouds and it's raining on him, what I'm almost doing is I am getting a sense that I think you're trying to appreciate where you are right now, but it's a little bit of a struggle for you. I do think that you do feel a little bit lost, but I do think that I think you are having moments of enlightenment. I think that I'm hearing everything happens for a reason. And I think that, but it is a little bit of that, grumble, bah humbug, kind of like, why, okay, fine, But if you do I think what it's telling you here at the beginning of the week, if you do kind of push yourself a little bit, that you can see the higher lesson and where you're at. But I think what it is that I think you're used to moving faster than what you are. The other thing is that I think that you feel a little lost. And that's I think the feeling of being lost is what's making you not appreciate where you are. Because I think why you're there. I think that you need to, what I'm getting from this is that that you have to be still, even though you want some kind of forward movement right now. But the other thing is that I think that if you push forward, you're just going to end up more lost than where you are. This is very Neptunian energy. Both of these cards are very ruled by Neptune. And actually when we get into your dice, it kind of plays into that too. But what I will say is that yes, it's raining on you, but I do think that you're getting solace from the moon. I think you're getting solace from the moon. And actually that's, what that is that's surrender in a good way. Because Piscean energy is very tricky that way. It's hard. Piscean energy is dreaming. It's inaction. It's not doing anything. And And honestly, I don't see, like, don't take this the wrong way. I don't see any, like, Five of Swords energy here, but, or Four of Swords energy. But sometimes, you know how when you keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and then your immune system gets low, and then you catch a cold, and then you get laid up for a few days. I'm not saying that's going to happen to you, but it's kind of this energy. I think you know that you're not supposed to push right now. You know that you need to surrender, but you're not comfortable. You're not comfortable, and you're really used to having a plan. You're used to having a way. You're used to having it all mapped out. You're used to knowing what you're going to do next. But right now, in the beginning of the week, you're not meant to do something next. Now, I'm also getting a strong sense that maybe something about the sign of Virgo, maybe it's squaring you. Either that, or if you have a Pisces in Virgo, I'm sorry, a Neptune, like if you look at where Neptune is in your chart, maybe you have a Neptune in Virgo, or Neptune or the sign of Virgo in the sky. You know what I'm almost getting is that the other thing is that when the moon is in Virgo, Virgo is a very clear-sighted, like it's very clear in its perception of things, but Virgo does not take well to smoke and mirrors. Like it's the opposite on the wheel, on the spectrum. It's the opposite of Pisces. And when you think about that, it's like a teeter-totter. It balances Piscean energy. Sometimes when you get too lost, the cure, and Stephen Forrest says this. He's a wonderful teacher. I took a class with him. It was really insightful. I was so blessed. But he even says it. The cure for Pisces is Virgo. The cure for Virgo is Pisces, right? When you get too nitpicky, you need to loosen up and dream a little. But when you get too dreamy and you get too lost, you need to be concise. You need to get a plan. You need to kind of, stick to a routine. But here I do see that I think that that it's a time to be adrift, but you're not really comfortable with it. I think looking at the moon will make you feel a little bit better, maybe connecting a little bit with your Piscean energy. Also, please look at the house in which Virgo falls, because that would really kind of tell you where the energy is manifesting. And if you do have Virgo squaring anything in your chart, especially this phase of the moon, what you can do is, one thing I like to do is, when I look, like, for instance, like I have a Venus in Virgo, and that full moon that we just went through is in Gemini, and that's a square to my Virgo, and that's a square to my Venus, right? And it's not a harsh square, but what I like to do is I like to look at it, and I like to look for what I call my lean-on planets. Is there somewhere else in my chart that Gemini is real compatible with? Because it's going to be irritating my Virgo. Gemini and Virgo, they're squares, but they have communication in common. But what it is that Virgo is more analytical. They're more like the checklist person, and Gemini is definitely looser. They're more fluid. They're more of an ideas person. It's where their mind takes them. It's not a bullet point checklist. It's not regimed like that. But it's very intellectual. Both are very intellectual. But the reason I'm going off on a tangent on this is look for your lean-on planets. So if maybe Virgo planet, maybe you have a planet that's in Pisces, or a planet that's in Sagittarius, or what's the fourth one? Oh my gosh. Earth, air, fire, water. Yeah, no, I went over everyone. Okay, if it's causing a square, find another planet that you can lean on. Maybe you have a planet in Capricorn. Maybe you have a planet in Taurus. Either that, or in Cancer, or in Scorpio. Those are what I call pressure valves. And just try to kind of lean. Let this moon emotional energy in Virgo have an outlet through somewhere else. Like if you have a moon in Cancer, let it express itself through the Cancer. I call it, just try to find a way to alleviate. But I don't think that it's an action time. It's not a time to take action. You do kind of have to, I think that you have to take it easy. Now, by the middle of the week, this is great. You got the Three of Pentacles. And what's interesting about this card is normally the Three of Pentacles have three people in it. This has one person. And you see this person is completing a task. So I really see yourself throwing yourself into work in the middle of the week. I'll be honest, guys, I really feel like you're a real industrious pile here. I feel like you like things being very cut and dry. You don't like any of this murky stuff. Like you don't like drifting. You like to have a plan. You like to have a course. The other thing is with the star, I think of like navigation by boat. You know, you like to chart a course. You always like to be going somewhere. You don't like to be stagnant. And I think this energy so what I see is that maybe emotionally or I'm getting a sense like with family or relationships, you don't have a set plan, or you can't really go forward in that area of your life right now. So you're going to throw yourself into work a little bit. Now, the Three of Pentacles, again, normally Three of Pentacles is cooperation. It can be cooperation at work. So first off, I think that you are going to have good communication at work. The other thing is that I get a sense like someone's going to greenlight a project. Like maybe at work you have a lot to do to occupy your mind, and maybe that's your pressure valve, guys. I think that might be the place that you can kind of let off a little bit of steam. The other thing is I feel like you can focus because you can kind of see this guy. He's putting the last stained glass window up. The irony here is that I also get the sense that you kind of like working alone. Either that or I do get a sense like you're throwing yourself into work. But the thing is, I sense that work is a good distraction for you. I feel like for whatever is holding you up emotionally, work is there's no blockages at work. And I think it lets you channel your energy and it lets you focus your mind. The other thing is that I feel like you're getting a lot done, but with it being the Three, it's almost like, you know what it is? It's almost like maybe your boss said, yeah, sure, go ahead with this, and you're knocking out a lot of work. But I see you completing projects. You're completing projects, and you're so enthralled. Like I almost get an Eight of Pentacles from this instead of a Three. But I think things are going very well at work, and it's almost like the other thing that I kind of get is that you're kind of whistling while you work. Like things are going very well, where you lose track of time. And the other thing is that normally, you know, the middle of the week can sometimes be that get over the hump kind of feeling. It's not going to be like that for you this week. It's almost like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is going to go by really quick. You know, and it's that good kind of productivity that you start doing your thing, and then before you know it, it's time to clock out and go home, and you've had a really, you know, # good day. Now, wow, guys, by the end of the week, you've got some really great energy here. First off, you got the Knight of Cups, and you got the Six of Rods. And so the way I kind of read it is I always look at the bottom card as the stem, like this is what led to this energy. So I kind of read this one of two ways. I get the sense that, and you see with the Knight of Cups, you see this guy kind of smelling the roses. He's stopping to smell the roses, and there's this beautiful house all lit up. And again, you got more starry skies. So one way that I kind of read this is that if you've been working up the courage to ask somebody out, I think by the end of the week, you're going to feel confident enough. And maybe it is a mix of these. I do kind of get a sense that the beginning of the week and the end of the week are kind of relationship related. Maybe in the beginning of the week, you felt like you were a little stymied, like you were delayed from approaching someone, but you knew by the end of the week, or maybe it is a matter of courage. The other thing that I kind of get is that maybe after having a real good, you know how it is when you go to work and you do a good job and you feel like your life's on track, it kind of gives you that inner confidence to know that you could do anything that you set out to do, right? It's almost like when you become accomplished in different areas of your life, it gives you the wherewithal to approach other areas of your life with the same, confidence. So maybe these victories at work, again, maybe you had a good week at work and you're just feeling, you see this guy, he's the man, everyone's cheering him. So maybe you feel like, okay, I've had a good week, everything's on track. Let me go ahead and let me go over to that person's house. Now, not to sound weird, but when I see this person waiting outside the door, maybe I kind of get the sense that you're coming right up to the cusp. It's almost like you're towing the line. This is also a lot of dreamy energy, so it's quite possible that maybe you're having daydreams of victory. You know, the other thing that I kind of get is I almost get the sense that maybe at night after a really good week, it's Friday, you've clocked out, it's the weekend, you start texting someone, but then you don't quite send it. It's like you're standing outside the door. I know this sounds strange. I really get the sense, if this is someone having this energy towards you, what I kind of see is that maybe you're looking real good, and again, this could be social media too. Maybe you've had a great week and again, you're posting, you look happy, all of your friends are supporting you, and then all of a sudden, because you know how it is, it's like sometimes when you get into a productive mood, it bolsters your self-esteem, and then you start posting really happy posts on social media, and before you know it, someone calls you or texts you and said, oh, I saw your post, how you doing? It's almost like someone's coming around, like they're towing the line of asking you out. They're waiting with flowers outside your door, like, oh, that person looks great, let me go ahead and ask them out. But this could also be your energy. Maybe you're daydreaming about asking someone out, and if this is your energy, it's almost like you're building up the courage and you're imagining yourself successful. The other thing I get is that maybe you're just daydreaming because he's not walking up to the door. He's standing at a distance. He's kind of hiding behind a tree, but he's still dreaming. So it's quite possible that maybe you've got plans, but you still can't implement them yet, but you're dreaming about it by the end of the week. Either that, or if it's your energy, you could be really shining kind of bright. And again, when we get to your tiles, you got, and you're shining so bright that someone reaches out to you. Either that, or I know this sounds crazy, guys, but maybe I get the sense that, things have been real quiet and there's someone who's really on the brink. Maybe someone bought you flowers and hasn't brought them to you yet. I'm not trying to creep you out. I mean this in a totally neutral way. I mean this in an innocent way. But someone might honestly be driving by your house, or someone might have come so far. I'm getting the sense that someone's coming right up. Like they might come to your door and they're trying to build up the confidence to actually ring the doorbell and give you flowers, or to actually send the text to ask you out. I'm kind of getting that. I also kind of get that you're really shining bright, and it's attracting people. It's attracting people, and it's making people stand at a distance, but really on the brink of taking action. Now, the two dice you got vision in reverse. Let me go ahead and see if we can focus. You got vision, but it's upside down. And vision really makes me think of this. It makes me think of the moon, because the moon is a lot of kind of, it's the feeling a little bit lost card. The moon isn't a bad card, but what it is it's feeling a little bit lost in those daydreams. It's almost like, again, it's like a foggy vision. And remember how we said it's almost like you don't have a clear plan. And even at the end, this person's standing at a distance. You don't have a clear plan yet, but you want to get a plan. The other thing is that you got the shooting star. And first off, the shooting star really feels like hope. The other thing is I kind of see shooting star, like again, maybe you're imagining yourself victorious. Or maybe it's telling you that you need to do, we talked about creative visualization. Maybe you need to imagine yourself victorious. The other thing that I kind of get with the star is that the stars are what we chart by. Like, right? You know, before we had navigations, formal navigation systems, you would look at the North Star, but this is a shooting star, so it's almost like a wish. It's like a wish. But the other thing is with creative visualization, you do want to be clear on what you want. You know, it can't be like a hazy daydream if you want it to come true. And again, there has to be action that backs it up. You can daydream all you want, but if you're still standing outside at a distance and you're not walking up to the door, then nothing's going to change, right? But I do see a lot of stargazing too. That's the other thing, is that maybe it is quite possible that someone tries to approach you. And honestly, the last week we had, it was the second pile, it was the middle pile that had the Knight of Cups in the last position as well. But I do get a sense that your star is shining bright. The other thing is, like, you got like a glow up going on. Whatever kind of stuck energy, these are major arcanas. The stuck energy in the beginning of the week does serve a purpose. Sometimes you have to lose yourself to find yourself, truly, you know. And I know that's crazy, but it's a real beautiful week, guys. And definitely, I get a sense of stargazing, like like going out and looking at the moon. And here, we'll flip it around because that card was sliding. All right, guys. So deck number 2, we have the Starseeker Tarot with the Amethyst Point. Let's go ahead and see what's your energies for the week. Okay, beginning of the week. Please, messages for the beginning of the week, please. Ooh, okay. Middle of the week, please. What's our energies for the middle of the week? Okay, end of the week. Oh gosh, okay. All right, and let's go ahead and get your dice. So from our story cubes, and from our conversation dice. Wow. Oh, that's different, guys. That's interesting. Okay, first off, we have a lot of Pentacles energy here. We have quite a bit of Cups as well. But, sorry, I'm just kind of getting a bead here. Wow, guys. Now, beginning of the week, and I'm sorry, I absolutely love this stone. I've had this stone for over 20 years. It's the very first stone I ever bought for tarot, and I get such a good energy, and it looks absolutely gorgeous next to this deck. Beginning of the week, I get a really hard-working vibe, guys. First off, you've got the 8 of Pentacles going into the 9. And anytime, I always read it like the stem, like the top card is the energy that you're exuding, that you're expressing. And the bottom card is kind of the root of that energy. It's like where that energy came from. I always think of it like the stem and the bloom, right? And I really get the sense beginning of the week, I feel like you're getting a lot of confidence from your work life. I think that you're working hard at work. You could be working a few, now if you're in North America, right now we're in daylight savings time where the sun sets at 5 o'clock. So it kind of feels like a long day. But what I'm kind of getting is I get the sense that you might be staying late at work. Like, you know, maybe it's past your time to clock out, but you're not finished yet, or I'm not getting that you're staying all night. Maybe you are, because there is a lantern here. But I get the sense that you're kind of honing your craft a little bit. So I do get the sense, and this could be with work. This could be a home energy too, because the Pentacles rule what you value, and what you value can be home and family. Maybe I know I have quite a few friends who have children who are virtually learning So, sometimes this can be you, putting in that extra effort, maybe staying kind of later at night, staying up late with them to make sure everything's done. The other thing is that it's almost like you're putting in the extra work to make sure everything is good to go. I kind of see this energy, like, I know this sounds funny, back when I used to drive to work, I used to kind of lay out all the clothes that I would wear the next day. I'd make sure all the laundry was done. Like today was my laundry day, actually, and everything was folded in the drawers. I balanced my checkbook. I know bills were scheduled. So it can be that energy too. It could just be that your life is really, really on track because you put in that extra energy, right? It's almost like you're knocking it out. Hashtag, owning it, And, but I do get the sense that this might be work related. The other thing that I kind of get is that there might be some rewards. There might be some financial rewards that you're getting from this. Like that extra work that you put in, maybe you agreed to stay later, maybe you covered a shift for someone. And all of that's giving you, I think that's giving you recognition. The other thing is that what it could also be is that maybe you're getting some kind of bonus. I do get a sense that I'm getting a sense that this is your previous hard work. This is work that you've done, and it's making you feel really, really independent. The other thing is I can't, the Nine of Pentacles always has that hawk on her wrist, but his wings are open. It's almost like he just came in for a landing. So, what I'm almost getting is, and I love the way that she's looking at that hawk and she's smiling, like she's just got a pleasant expression on her face. You might get a message of recognition in the beginning of the week. Maybe you get some kind of email that says, good job. But I almost get the sense like it's carrying like some kind of, maybe you get some kind of holiday bonus, and they're saying, okay, good job for all the hard work you've done this year. Here's a little bit extra. Or maybe it is just some kind of little pat on the back that just makes you feel real good. But again, the Nine of Pentacles is normally a real independent woman kind of energy. It usually doesn't mean like a family, but it can pertain to family. It just kind of means that you feel like everything, like the kids are on track, you're on track, and you know what it makes me feel like? It makes me feel like, okay, you have that moment. Everybody is good to go. Nobody needs anything. All the chores are done. The kids, we went over the homework. They're good to go. You actually have the independence to sit and, to stand in the kitchen with a cup of coffee and actually breathe for a minute, because you've already taken care of. Nothing's getting out of hand. But if this is you and your energy solely, I do think that you've been really kind of putting in the extra hours at work, or in the beginning of the week, you really do stay late and put in that extra energy to make sure everything is. The other thing I get is I'm getting like almost like you stay a little, like a half an hour later to make sure everything is good to go for the next day, and that there's nothing looming for the next day. Now, you've got quite a bit of 9 energy here. You got 2 4s and you got 2 9s. But the middle of the week, you've got the 9 of Cups, and but crowning it is the 4 of Cups. And this is real interesting, guys. I'm going to be completely honest. You know what I'm almost getting? Because when you look at the 3 of Cups, the 3 of Cups is usually a celebration card. And the 9 of Cups, what I'm seeing here is you see all the cups in the water, right? But the 4 of Cups is that lethargy card. It's like the, not being interested. It's a little bit, it's that, I always refer to it as the woe is me card, right? We haven't had tarot on it yet, but what I'm almost kind of getting is, I do feel like you feel a little bit left out, but it's almost by your own choice. And I don't mean that in a mean way. Again, this week is only 2 weeks out from Christmas. Actually, the end of this week would be the start. If you celebrate Christmas, it would be the end of this week. The 12th would be the start of the 12 days of Christmas. Like 2 weeks left less than 2 weeks, 10 days left before the holiday. And whatever this is an open channel, whatever you celebrate, if you celebrate Yule, if you celebrate Hanukkah, if you, Kwanzaa, if you celebrate Christmas, if you don't celebrate any of those religions, it's just the winter turn of the season. But what I'm almost getting is that by the middle of the week, you might be feeling a little bit blue. The other thing that I kind of get is that the thing is that with the beginning of the week, it seems like really positive energy. Like you look at the starry sky in the background and you look at the sunny sky in the 9. And believe me, we all do this. We all have those kind of. The other thing that I get is I'm hearing change in the tide, a roll in of the tide, which tells me that you might be having a little bit of a. You might be having a little bit of a melancholy middle of the week. And that's completely okay. Wednesday, Thursday, we call it the hump of the week. The other thing is that I would pay attention to what signs the moon is in. Like, for instance, it's probably going to be right around Libra. If you have planets in your chart that are cardinal, that might square with it. Either that or the other planets. The other thing is that, Mars is in Aries, and it's going to be right around the 19-degree mark. So, and that's in its ruling planet. So sometimes, again, if you have transits of other placements that are kind of squaring your moon, or I usually see the 4 of Cups as hitting you in the feels. Like I usually see that as being a square to your moon somehow. But if you have a moon in a cardinal sign where, either the Mars in Aries or the sun, the moon in Libra might be kind of making you feel a little bit blue. The way I kind of see this is I do kind of see it as that it's almost like the whole world is happy and you're a little bit like, okay, yeah, meh. Yeah, go ahead, be happy. Again, he's looking down at those, because you see this really happy kind of mermaid, and she's got all these floating cups. It's like, look at all my cups. I'm so blessed. The other thing is one other thing that I kind of get is the 9 of Cups is a party card. It can usually mean a birthday. So it could possibly be that someone's having a birthday party and it's not that you feel excluded, but it's almost like you don't want to participate. Have you ever been in those moods where someone's like, hey, come have some cake, we're having a great time, and you're like, no, I'm just going to sit in my room and watch Netflix with my comforter wrapped around my face. No. And I don't think that, it's not. To be honest, it could be that you might be feeling a little bit left out, but I'll be honest, I don't think it's because anybody is intentionally trying to make you feel left out. It's just you're in kind of a blue moon. You're having a blue mood. And believe me, I have a lot of water in my chart. I have a moon in Cancer, which is its ruling planet. And I completely understand. Actually, there's another reader here. Her name is Jess Puckett, and she goes by the Chaos Witch. She always says the most insightful things. I love watching her channel because she says really fantastic things. And I never thought of this before. And I do have a moon in Cancer conjunct a Mars in Cancer, and Cancer is not, Mars is ruled by Aries. It's not ruled by the sun sign of Cancer. Cancer is a very sensitive kind of planet. Is kind of a sensitive sign, and to have your Mars there, Mars is a very burning. It's like it's an iron and brimstone. It's a war kind of planet. To have your sweet sensitive sign like Cancer there. Jess Puckett once time said in one of her recent videos, she goes, it's like having burnout. It's like having burnout. You have this conjunction between a really hot action-oriented planet and your sweet sensitive moon. It's after a while it gets a little bit, I feel burnout is what it is. And so I almost kind of get that with this. It's not that I don't think anybody's trying to make you feel excluded, but it's almost like you're feeling a little bit like, okay, I've had too much overstimulation. I don't want to participate. I do also, I'll be honest, guys, I am almost getting like a feeling like, have you ever had those times where maybe someone's planning a big party and then they don't invite you until the very last minute, and then you kind of take offense like, well, I was a last resort. They didn't want me there. They didn't. It's almost like I feel like you're up in your head thinking that the world is against you or that they don't want you there. But it's you just kind of being in a funky mood. The other thing that I kind of get is it's almost like I'd rather not go because I am in a, it's almost like you realize that you're in kind of a really gray, kind of a bad mood, and you don't want to be a downer. But I do see that that cup is being offered to you. It's almost like, the other thing is it's like the 10th cup. It's like you've got 9 cups here. Um, the one other way that I kind of read this, just to throw it out there, is that maybe the Four of Cups is kind of like similar to the Five of Cups that almost wanted to come out. It's a little bit of a mourning card. It's like saying, okay, well, I had these 3 failed relationships. This new one is going to be just like those, right? So the other thing that I kind of get is that maybe someone is really trying to cheer you up. Someone is really trying to invite you into their happy world. Um, but you just kind of, you do have the gray colored glasses on. It's almost like you think, well, again, it's a little bit of a bah humbug, like, no, no, I don't, I'm not turning to look at that cup. I don't need that right now. You are going to be feeling a little bit in that gloomy mood. But I do get this sense like you're seeing someone have a good time, and it's almost like you're not participating it. You're not joining the party. I'm getting a strong sense of that. You're not joining the party. The other thing that I can get is I don't see any swords here, so I don't think this is social media. I don't think this is fear of missing out. I think this is legitimately someone trying to cheer you up, and you're just not really in the mood for it. But I don't think again, I don't think that you're trying to be that way, but it's almost like you don't want to taint anybody's happiness with your bad mood. And I definitely would look at what kind of transitions. Maybe you're just feeling a little burnt out. Maybe you're tired. Maybe you're grouchy. Maybe you got a moon transit that's just rubbing you the wrong way. But the one thing I will kind of say is that if somebody is trying to cheer you up, you don't have to join the party. Like, I don't think this is telling you that you have to put on a happy face if that's not legitimately how you feel, because that would be insincere. But I do think that it's saying that there might be a little bit, let this person, if someone's in a happy mood, let them give you a little bit of that sunshine. You don't have to take the whole cup, right? It's almost like, you being cooped up in your room and someone slipping a note under your door being, you probably won't appreciate it at the time, but it's someone, that is one last interpretation I'll throw out there, is that maybe you just feel like someone blowing sunshine and you're just like, oh God, stop. Can you please just stop? Maybe someone's decorating the house with like Elf on a shelf and you're just like, oh, you know, and you're like, no, not having it. But now I see at the end of the week, this is actually really beautiful energy, guys. One other thing is that one last interpretation is that you might be remembering good times. You might be feeling like, I do kind of sense that maybe when you have a moment to yourself, you're really thinking about the past and thinking that you'll never be happy the way that you were in the past. Because that is one other thing I see, is that maybe you feel like it was the past was all this glorious cups, and now it's like 6 of those cups have floated away and you only have 3 remaining, but you're not looking at the new cup that's behind you. So this could be some reminiscing on the past and just feeling like things will never be happy again. But the end of the week, which is really beautiful, and again, it's another 4. You got 4 and 4, and 4s are stability. They're the cornerstones, right? I really get the sense that you're going to be mirroring somebody at the end of the week. I feel a lot more balanced energy towards the end of the week. Because what's beautiful about this is that it's very emotional. The beginning of the week is very practical and work oriented. And then the middle of the week is a little bit emotional and a little bit of longing. The end of the week is really quite beautiful. I think that you're taking a practical approach. And in the beginning of the reading, in the last reading, I talked about how all the zodiac signs have opposites, right? And the opposite of Virgo is Pisces. And sometimes with Pisces, you can get a little bit lost, kind of adrift in your emotions. And the cure for Pisces is Virgo. And what that is that's getting a plan. If you're feeling lost, if you're feeling kind of like adrift, if you get a plan and you follow it, it gives you a course of action, right? It gives you a path to follow. And you got the Knight of Pentacles. So you see, he has a path that's leading up the mountain, which is a challenge, right? And at the top of it, you've got the Four of Wands, which is people floating above mountaintops, right? And look at this, guys. It's like, it's you stepping on floating stones until you get to the floating stone with another person. Quite honestly, guys, you might be kind of, maybe you're trying to build something at work and you feel like it's very slow going, but I almost get a sense like, because this is 4 and 4, it's almost like you're trying to build a foundation, but you feel like it's not going fast enough. You do have a plan. You know what I'm almost getting? It's like when you're in your practical mindset, you feel good, you feel accomplished, but whenever you're alone long enough to kind of look at your feelings, you feel a little bit lost. You feel like your happiness is in the past and that you'll never have that happiness again. But what I'm getting is that you will. You will. The other thing is that I do get a sense this is like this is a bad mood in the middle of the week. And when the other thing I get is that when you get in a bad mood, you get a little hopeless. You feel like there's no hope. But there is hope. And I think that you're realizing it by the end of the week. To get the sense that you're going to get a plan. You're going to get a plan. The other thing is that the beginning of the week, the moon is in, like the first quarter moon is, the last quarter moon is starting, and it is going to be in Virgo, which is that's a good plan. It's like a list maker sign. You know, it's a good way to get your thoughts organized. And I think you're going to have a renewed sense of hope, because again, you're going to think, okay, what are the stepping stones? I'm hearing stepping stones. What are the stepping stones for me to ascend this mountain, to get past my problems? But I do get the sense that you're thinking about someone. Maybe you want marriage with someone, or you want to reconcile, but the Four of Wands is a card of marriage, but the way that they're both wearing white, it's almost like you want to follow the steps that lead you back to someone, but the knight is the slowest moving knight. He is on a mission, and he is going to get where he's going, but it's going to take time. It's like each one of those steps has to be taken in its time. You can't rush it. But I do think that the other thing is that there's a sunny sky here. There's still clouds, but it's a sunny sky. I think you're going to be feeling a lot brighter. The other thing is that with the Four of Wands, that's a very traditional twin flame card. So the other thing that I kind of get is that maybe half of your renewed hope is that maybe you get a chance to talk to someone, but what I'm sensing is I'm feeling a mirroring. Like the two wands are the twin mirrors. Maybe you feel like maybe this renewed sense of hope is making you feel more on par with someone. Either that, or it's quite possible that you might have a conversation with someone where you somehow you communicate to the other person where you're at, and that your goal is to be with them, and your energies are mirroring each other. So one other thing that I kind of get with this is that maybe you really do want, it's almost like you want overnight success, but you know that's not going to happen, and your partner is on board with your goals. The other thing is that I'm getting kind of telekinetic communication. If you you're going to get some kind of sign either through a dream or that you have a partner in this. You're not alone. And this person supports your goals and they support your path. And there's going to be some kind of communication. I really get the sense that you're just going to know that this person's on the same page as you. And that's going to make you feel good. Now, the 2 dice that you got is, you got the beaker, but you got it upside down. So what I'm kind of getting is, I do kind of get a sense of imbalance. The other thing is that what I'm getting is that I'm hearing lack of chemistry. I'm hearing lack of chemistry. But that, there might be 2 people involved here. I don't know if you're dating and you're maybe talking to more than one person. Either that, or maybe, again, the other thing I kind of get from this is maybe it's the wrong formulation. So I think what you're looking for is the formula of success. The other thing that I kind of get is that maybe you kind of had a business plan, or you had some kind of plan for your career, and by the middle of the week you feel like things are just not going fast enough, or not going the way that you expected, and you feel like it's affecting your whole life plan. Like, okay, I can't get into a serious relationship or buy a house until I've accomplished, ABC goals in my life. I have to make this much money. I have to be this at work. The other thing is that you might legitimately just not be giving yourself a lot of credit. Maybe because clearly you're accomplished, you're accomplishing a lot. And believe me, I get into those moods too, where it's almost like you stay up late at night. The other thing I kind of get from this is it's almost like you're staying up late at night and thinking that all the things that you've done haven't amounted to much. But they have. You've got some great covered glasses going on. The other thing is that I think that you feel like you haven't found the right formula right yet. You haven't found the right combination to accomplish or to get what you want done. The other thing that I get is that you feel like the thing is, I think you do have renewed hope by the end of the week. Maybe you put a game plan in place. Again, I get a strong sense that you're getting a vision of where you want to go and how you want to get there. And you see yourself. The other thing is the 4 of Wands is like a graduation card. But I definitely see this relationship related. There's cups in the middle. But there's pentacles on either side. It's almost like it's almost like you want to accomplish all of your dreams. You want the whole kit and caboodle. The other thing that we have here is you have a tile that says technology. So maybe you work in technology. That might be some of this Pentacles energy, because technology, Pentacles are very practical people. I usually see them as the engineer kind of minds. They're good at seeing how things work. They also, they're good with the construct of things. So the other thing is that maybe this is like a project. Yeah, I'm definitely getting different energies from the beginning of the week, middle of the week, and end of the week. And I feel like you're kind of going it's like a whole overarching trajectory of what you want to accomplish in your life. I know that's heavy for a weekly energy. But I do think you're having a very accomplished beginning of the week. Middle of the week, you might be feeling kind of blue, like you're like the world is your happiness is eluding you a little bit. But by the end of the week, you're going to have a game plan. You know that it's going to take time and energy, but you know what you want and you're ready to go get it. And I think you want to find the right formula. You want to find the right solution. And definitely technology is involved. Maybe you work in tech, or maybe, yeah, I'm getting a sense that like you work in technology, or something about technology is playing into your long-term goals. So Well, guys, that's a really good week. That's a great week, and that's good energy. And definitely take care of yourself in the middle of the week. We all get in those kind of blue moods, you know. And the other thing is that there's a lot of good videos here on YouTube that talk about, you know, when you start getting into those that kind of gray-colored glasses. All right. So last but not least, we've got the Sun and Moon Tarot. And we've got the obsidian, which is also known as dragon glass. All right, so let's go ahead and see. Beginning of the week, deck number 3. What's our energy for? First, please tell me. Ooh, Queen of Cups. We've got a lot of moon energy going on here. Middle of the week. And end of the week, please. Wow, we got a common denominator of 4 of Wands and the Moon. This deck has a lot of moon energy as well. I'm just going to double check. Yeah, there are kings. So this is Prince of Wands. So that would be the Knight of Wands. 5 of Swords, King of Wands. Okay, I'm going to bear that in mind. And Temperance. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and get your dice. So the story cubes just gets a little loud. Oh, that's great. I'm really loving that dice. All right, let's go ahead and get your wooden dice. All right. All right. Oh, this is really sweet energy, guys. All right, so beginning of the week, oh my gosh, first 9 of Pentacles too in the beginning of the week. That's amazing, guys. We're getting a lot of synchronicities, a lot of common denominators. Now, the first card, the top card, is you got the Queen of Cups. And oh, I love this card. This is definitely going to be in the How to Tarot when we get to this. So the root of the card, the root of the situation is the 9 of Pentacles, and the crown of it is the Queen of Cups. I think that you're going to be in a wonderful energy. I really get the sense that you're just going to feel like you're in your own element. You're just going to feel like you're going to feel really emotionally on the level at the beginning of the week. Again, you're going to, and you can be a man in this energy. It's almost like the moon, the moon in the sky is like fueling you in a good way. It's getting you in touch. I feel like something about the planets, especially the moon, maybe in the beginning of the week, the moon is in a sign that really resonates with you. Maybe it's in the same moon sign as yours. I'm almost kind of getting that. Maybe you, if you know your astrological chart, maybe you have a moon in Virgo, or possibly Leo. I'm getting more of a Virgo vibe though. The other thing that I kind of get is, because it's almost like when the moon comes back, when the moon in the sky goes to the same sign that is in your chart natally, it's almost like having a new moon. It's like having a full moon. You feel the energy of it. It's like this. It's almost like you're in your element. You're in your zone, and it just, again, it's almost like the way that solar power charges panels. It's like lunar power is charging you. That's what I'm feeling. I feel like you feel so charged up. The other thing is that it's in a real nurturing way. The other thing that I kind of get is that the 9 of Pentacles is that real independent card. I am getting almost kind of a Leo thing. Maybe this is again, I am seeing Leo and possibly Cancer. Well, Cancer's more like right now. But yeah, beginning of the week, you might be feeling in your energy. The other thing that I kind of get is that I feel like you might be nesting a little bit. Maybe you're finally getting around to doing some decorations if you celebrate the holidays. Either that, or maybe you just feel real comfortable at home. I was kind of getting that with the middle deck as well. I really get a strong sense that you just feel like you've got everything in check, like you know what you're doing. The other thing is that maybe you buy yourself flowers or you get flowers. I do get the sense that maybe, I'm also getting a sense that maybe your home aesthetic, like your home just feels really cozy. Um, I also get a strong sense of like emotional appreciation. You're just, again, I feel like you're in your element. Sunflowers also, what's beautiful is that there's sunflowers here, which rule the sun, it rules the sense of self. And then you've got lotus flowers here, which rule the crown chakra, which rule like kind of that higher. I just feel like you're going to be really in the zone emotionally at the beginning of the week. The other thing is that I think that you might be very strongly intuitive. The other thing that I'm kind of getting is that I get the sense that you're feeling you're very independent financially. So maybe you just got paid or you just, the other thing I'm kind of getting is that if this is holiday time, maybe you're done with your shopping, you have all of the, and you're in that zone where it's like, okay, I got the best gift for everybody on my list. Everyone's going to love what they got. And um the other thing that I get is just a real nurturing kind of vibe from that. Almost like you're the other thing I kind of get is that you're really caring for other people. And what I kind of sense is that you are so secure in yourself, like you don't want for anything, you have everything you need, you're financially grounded, you're emotionally grounded, that I think that it makes this wellspring, because again, you see she's holding a cup and that cup is overflowing with water. It's almost like her cup is so full that she has enough to share with others. And I do sense that in like a real nurturing way. So again, it being this time of year, maybe you're doing something for charity. Maybe you're doing something for your coworkers. I know maybe you're participating in like a food drive. Maybe you're baking cookies. The other thing is that the Queen of Cups is a very Cancerian energy where they do like to cook. They like being in I really think of a warm kitchen. I think of such a warm kitchen. So maybe you're baking things for other people to, and again, maybe you're sending things, or you're really doing your part, and it's because your cup overfloweth. You have so much good energy, and you're stopping to smell the flowers here. So again, I just feel like you're going to be very content with your life. I do think I'm getting a sense of a cozy home environment, and I feel like you have more than enough. Since you have enough, you're really ready to give emotionally to others. The other thing is that you might be doing really nurturing little things. Maybe you're participating in traditions that you are sharing with others that make them feel really warm and included. If you are a mom, I do get the sense like you're living that role this at the beginning of the week. But I do almost get a little bit of an independent woman vibe here. But this is such gorgeous energy, guys, because I love those Queen of Cups days. You feel so emotionally alive. It's such a really, again, I'm getting such a strong sense of solar, like again, it's like one of those solar panels except with the moon. The moon is charging you up in your heart, in your soul, in your the other thing is, as a woman, you're feeling so emotionally generous and giving at the beginning of the week. Now, middle of the week is interesting. You've got the Knight of Wands, you've got the Prince of Wands, and it's crossed by the Two of Wands. And what is interesting here, guys, is that the Knight of Wands is a younger energy. It's a real go-getter energy, right? It's the Knight of Wands, and you see a lion. We're getting a lot of Leo here because we got sunflowers and we got lion. But I do get a sense that by the middle of the week, I get a sense that this energy is kind of coming towards you, but it's blocked. And the key word on this card is dominion. But what I'm really seeing is you see flames on the wheels of this chariot. You see this knight. He has a lion, you know, charging straight ahead. But then it looks like there's a wall of flame that's blocking him, right? And traditionally the Two of Wands is about having a choice. It's like it's a choice of either staying with the current project or the current energy, or daring to go for something else, like daring to try something new. And what I'm kind of getting is that if this is your energy, you're going to be feeling really energetic. Maybe this independent, nurturing energy, by the middle of the week, it kind of shifts into this real go-getter kind of energy. But what I'm definitely getting is I'm getting that something, if this is another person, you have someone who's kind of a younger, impulsive energy who's really coming at you. The other thing that I kind of get is that because you're so happy, because again, I'm getting a real strong sense of security. Like you're secure in yourself. The Queen of Cups is a straight up. It's you know what it is. It's like baking cookies and having the door right wide open where the smell of warm cookies is floating out, and then someone is like, "Oh my gosh, I gotta go get some of those," right? I think you're really attracting people with your kindness, with your warm, nurturing energy, and I think you're attracting someone who's younger. But the thing is, this person wants to go full speed ahead, but they're blocked by a choice. Either that, or by the middle of the week, there's something that you want to go full speed ahead on, but you're being blocked by a choice. You see, you know, his wheels are on fire, but then there's a wall of fire blocking him, and it's almost like he doesn't know how to get through. I am also hearing walk through fire. I think there's someone that's willing to walk through fire for you. I know that sounds crazy. The other thing is it says dominion. It's like somebody, and Leos are leaders. Lions are the kings of their dominion, right? So I get this sense like there's someone who really wants to go forward towards you, but I think this person is a little bit blocked. Now, one other thing I'm noticing here is that if you look at the back of this person, he's got a yin-yang symbol on it. And yin and yang is receptive, and it's receptive. It's the difference between masculine and feminine, right? Yin is receptive. Yang is not aggressive. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of the wrong word. We've got receptive and assertive, right? So what I'm seeing here, those are also the emblems for water and fire. So that's where I'm kind of feeling like it's two different people. I feel like you might be the water element, and a fire character definitely wants to come towards you. The other thing is that you might see that this person is blocked. But the Two of Wands is the choice of the person, right? The Two of Wands it's almost like the knight has a responsibility that they've already started, and they need to complete that responsibility before they come to you. It's almost like they have to wait for that fire to die down before they can cross it and get to you. But I'm almost getting a sense that in the middle of the week, you're going to see that someone wants to come charging towards you, but they can't. And it's going to be clear to you that they can't. But you're going to be real attractive with your energy. The other thing is the Nine of Pentacles is Miss Independent. Like if you look up that song, Kelly Clarkson, Miss Independent. You are Miss Independent, and this is such gorgeous energy. But I think you're attracting a lot, but in the middle of the week, you either want to charge forward with something, but you have to finish something else first, or I'm really getting a sense that this is somebody else. This is a separate, younger energy that wants to come towards you, and they have their eye on you. Look at that lion. He is no joke. He's not playing. The knight is not playing. But the thing about knights is that, and especially the Knight of Wands, is he is very, he's the in and out guy. He 1 minute he'll be like, wow, I want this, and then the next minute it's like, oh, never mind, I got to go back to this. So when I see these two together, you might see evidence of someone who really wants to come towards you, but they have other obligations, or they have something else that they have to finish first, and that's almost like a wall of fire. They can't. But I do think that this is kind of a sweet manifestation, because someone wants to walk through fire to get to you, and it's almost like they're willing to. But I don't think that they'll complete the action. I think the knight is going to pull back. But you're going to see some kind of evidence that they really want to come towards you. And I think you're in such a strong energy. If you're manifesting as the knight, you're really got a lot of leadership going on here. The other thing that I kind of see is that you start off the week so strong that by the middle of the week, there might be some challenges that you're ready to face, like you have no fear, but it is a little bit of walking through fire. So you're going to have to bide your time, or figure out how you're going to do this, because you can't cross yet. Now by the end of the week, you've got some really interesting energy here, guys. You've got 3 cards here, and the way I always look at it is, I look at it as the root, the stem, and the bloom. So the energy the energy that's going to be expressed is the 6 of Cups. And that's more full moon energy, guys. And for the record, it looks like these two people are together. Right? In the same full moon, right? It looks like the two people are, you know what I'm hearing? I'm hearing that riff from the Beatles song, come together right now over me. Oh, the bass in that was so awesome. But I'm getting a lot of music also with this pile, guys. Where is this music coming from? I didn't channel any songs with the other decks. Also the number 3. But so the manifestation, the what you're going to see is, you might be talking to someone by the end of the week. You might be having some playful exchanges. The other thing that I kind of get is that you might be kind of making someone's day. I really get the sense that, if this is another person that's kind of, showing like they're having a challenging week, it's almost like you're going to have some sweet emotional moment. It's almost like you share some kind of sweet emotional moment with someone. And what I am totally getting, guys, is that is totally your energy. It's almost like you're bringing your light again with that full moon. It's almost like you're solar powered, but you're not solar powered. You're lunar powered. And you're the other thing is that you see there's 6 lotuses. What do you call this? Oh my gosh, guys. Oh, don't lotusi, whatever. you know what I'm saying. I think that you're bringing your light to someone else, and you're gonna have a real fun, playful moment. But the thing is that what is interesting about this is that the root of this communication, there's the root of this playfulness. I almost get a sense like you're either going to have a conversation or some kind of encounter where you get to play with someone. This could be your spouse, it could be your boyfriend or girlfriend, but again, you feel like kids with one another. If you've ever had those conversations where someone just makes you laugh, if you've ever had it, that one person that just knows, they have that sense of humor that just gets you, like you just laugh, right? And I'm getting a sense that one other thing that I just want to point out real quick, you don't have to be a comedian in order to, how there's some people who are really good at jokes, who are just the people who are good at making people laugh. Don't feel bad if you're not one of those persons. Like if your boyfriend or girlfriend or your crush is really like the jokester, if they're good at making people laugh, but you're not good at making people laugh, that's okay, because that's opposites attract. It's if you're the type of person who appreciates humor, you are still the perfect match for that jokester, for that comedian person, right? Because that's a complementary personality style. You can't have two comedians in the same room, right? Like if a guy is good at jokes and the girl is good at jokes, then what do you got? That's kind of like the Saturday Night Live. Then you got two people cracking jokes and they're almost stepping on each other's toes. But if the other person is the comedian and he or she cracks a joke and you laugh because you appreciate humor, you're the perfect audience, right? You're the perfect counterpart for them because you get it, right? And don't feel like you need to be able to crack jokes the way they do. If you've ever seen it, sometimes that person can crack a joke and then they hear crickets. But they crack the same joke with you and you just belly laugh because you get it. You get them, right? That's what I'm getting from this energy. You get each other. You get that person's sense of humor. And I also get the sense that the little sweet little sentimental things that you bring to the table, that really warms their soul. And then in exchange, they get you to play. And you guys just play together. So I do think that this is somebody, it could be you and a child, either that or this could be friends, like it could be your best friend, maybe you call or you have you get your friend on the phone and you have a good laugh. It's funny, yesterday I talked to my friend on the phone and it was so nice. It was so great to talk to her. We've been best friends since high school and it was just great. And we got a chance to kind of, laugh. But, so that's going to be the expression of the energy. But what's interesting is that the root of this energy is you've got the 5 of Pentacles and you've got the 4 of Wands. And again, guys, in the middle of the week, you see that kind of trial by fire. The 4 of Wands show 2 people on a wheel and they're over the fire, like their feet is to the fire. But it looks like they're having fun with it, or they're not even having fun, they're navigating it together. They're navigating it together. And the root card is the 5 of Pentacles, which usually means kind of feeling lack, feeling not good enough, or not having enough money. So, wow, guys, you know what I'm really getting? This could be you and a spouse, or it could be, I'm getting a relationship vibe from this, but I almost get the sense like you're feeling really strong. The other thing is 9 of Pentacles is usually a pretty singleton energy. Maybe you're feeling real strong and maybe someone that you're talking to is having kind of a stressful middle of the week. Maybe they're having a lot of challenges at work, or they feel like they're walking through the fire. But I do feel like they want to come to you. I think they want the peace that you have. But this person likes the thrill of the fight, though. Don't get me wrong. Oh, that's so sweet, guys. You know what I just heard? You're my home. You're my home base. Wow. Oh, that's so sweet. If this Knight of Wands is your bae, they're really quite cute. The other thing is I feel like they're kind of blunt. Like when they feel something, it comes right out their mouth. They'll be like, if they, they're the kind that'll just blurt out, I love you, like that's really sweet energy. But I definitely get a sense that you have separate energies. This person's a go-getter. They like the thrill of the fight, but it's almost like they have so much going on that they can't get to you. The other thing is that, they're working hard to come back home to you. And it's almost like they know that you'll be okay. Like you're independent. You can handle your own until let me fight these fires, and then when I get done, like that Leo, when I get done, honey, I'm going to be heading right for you. But the end of the week, this is really beautiful energy because we got 5, 4, and 6. And what I'm kind of seeing is that I think by the weekend, you know, money might be a little bit tight. Either that or somebody might be feeling a little bit down and out. It could be from, I'm hearing fire stomping. There could be a lot of fire stomping that needs to go on. But it's almost like you're there for this person. Again, I feel like you're being the counterbalance to this person. I think your stability is helping to keep them on the level. I think it's also I think you being there for them is giving them the courage to keep going, to keep striving. The other thing that I kind of get is that I think that when what they're dealing with starts stressing them out or making them feel like low, I think you're like the counterbalance. I don't think that you smother this person. You're too independent for that. I think you give the right amount of support. Like when they're feeling low, you come up and it's almost like you sit next to them and you say, okay, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. You give them the right amount of comfort without being smothering. And and I think that you're willing, if this is a spouse, it's almost like you're willing to go through the fire with them. You're willing, if they have their feet to the fire, you have your feet to the fire. And the other thing that I get is that the Four of Wands is a twin flame card, and that actually came out in the middle deck as well. It's a twin flame card, so a lot of times this can be you mirroring each other. So again, it's almost like if somebody's feeling low, the other person gives them their strength. The other thing that I kind of get is that if you're feeling low, this night really kind of, they give you that jump start that you need. It's almost like they give you the nudge to make you, because you're more of a sensitive type of person. But you're definitely going to be, I do think that there might be a little, either someone might be feeling financially stretched or a little financially down and out. Either that or they just don't feel like they're good enough. And the moment that the person feels like they're not good enough, you hop on that wheel. It's almost like you send them good thoughts, or you send them your energy, or you send them a text message or something to say, I was thinking about you. I hope you're having a good day. Hang in there. You're doing a good job. And it's that parallel energy. It's that mirroring, right? Because if you're feeling good, they can't help but feel good. And if you need energy, they'll send you energy. It's you guys are keeping each other on the level. And I do get a sense, but there is going to be, towards the weekend, there's going to be some kind of moment through all these little moments of support, these little, really being there for one another. You're going to have a moment of playing. You're going to have a cute moment of playing. And I'm hearing, because the other thing is that I keep focusing on that splashing water. And you know how water means emotion? And I'm thinking of like a happy baby that's, got his hands splashing. It's almost like, you and this person you're going to make a splash with each other. I'm hearing laughter. I'm hearing laughter like kids. Like you're just going to, I think someone's going to do something. And it's funny, it's not that these problems have gone away. The fire is still there. You've been firefighting, fire stomping, but you still get each other. It's almost like you're appreciating those little moments. Life might not be perfect right now, but you have each other. And I get a bond of friendship here too. Now, what's really cute here is that the tile that you got is so cute. This is what I was giggling about. You got the person wearing a blindfold, and he's kind of, this is the most adorable tile I've ever seen. He's kind of poking and feeling someone's face. And you know what I'm immediately getting? Someone's feeling someone else out. Someone's feeling someone else out. There's a really beautiful video here on YouTube that do talk about what it's like when if you are sight impaired, what it's like that people who are blind can tell by feeling someone's face. That the other thing that I kind of get from this is that your person. You know the person by feel. You can feel your person. That's what I'm hearing. You can feel your person. You're feeling each other. You're feeling each other. It's like yin and yang. It's like yin and yang. There's a balance here. You feel each other. The other thing is I am hearing feeling someone out. Feeling someone out. Which I think kind of plays into... I'm not getting a sense. I'm getting a sense that you're staying in balance. You're feeling someone out to see where they're at and if they're okay. And like with the Five of Pentacles, it's like, okay, you know, you okay? Okay, you hanging in there? Are you sure? You're feeling someone out. And the other tile that you got is you got art, and this is really cute. So, Cups can be a lot of emotional fulfillment, and Wands is a very creative thing as well. So it's quite possible that maybe one way that you're kind of feeling someone out, or the other way is that maybe you're trying to connect to somebody through a form of art. Now, I usually associate music to Pentacles. But water is a strong one too, you know. But I do, the Wands are an extremely creative kind of sign. And Leos are good painters, they're good actors. We did pick up on a little bit of comedy, so maybe someone's art form is creating jokes or being funny. But I think that you guys are feeling each other out, or you're connecting, or you're feeling each other through some kind of art form. I remember one time, it was crazy. I had an entire conversation that was nothing but song lyrics. And it went on for like 3 to 5 minutes. It was me and my friends, and we couldn't stop. It was crazy. You would not think that we'd be able to have a conversation, you know. Like, I think I started off where I was like, I just called to say I love you, and then, you know, and then they came back and they were like, what you want, and it was like we went back and forth for like 5 minutes, and that's almost like splashing in the water. Again, I think I do also think that, again, you might be connecting through some kind of art form. It doesn't have to be music. You know, plug in whatever it is. Maybe you're both liking the same memes on social media. Maybe you know, again, this time of year there's a lot of, you know, things that you can do to kind of connect. But this is really a beautiful read, guys. I do think that there's some challenges here. I do think that one person is kind of going to have a moment of not feeling good enough, but that you're going to totally pull each other right out of your blues. And I do get a sense of two different people. But there's such a friend connection. There's such a friend connection. And this is such beautiful energy, because anytime I see the Six of Cups, I was just watching a video about this. You know, the best partnerships, the best marriages, the ones that last, are really the ones that are based on friendship. When you're there for someone, you know, when you know that person and you know what they need, you know how to care for them without, you know, coming on too strong. That's a basis of a really strong bond, right? That's soul family. You know, it's a kindred spirit, as Anne of Green Gables says. So, wow, guys, that's really beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and put your Queen of Cups on top. And all 3 piles. Wow, guys. I'm so glad to see this. I'm so glad to see it. Last week, the first pile was having a little bit of a rough week. If the first pile is normally your pile, this week is getting much better. Again, you know, energy follows thought. So if it doesn't resonate, don't take the message, and you know, read it how you want to read it. You know, 1 minute, you know, one energy ebbs and flows like the tides of the ocean and the tides of the moon. So, but I thank you so much for checking out my video and for sticking around for the beginning. I am going to be back on Tuesday. We're going to be continuing the How to Tarot, and we're going to be talking about my girl. We're going to be talking about the Queen of Swords. So I hope I can catch you then, and see you later. Bye.